G'day you good motherfuckers, the Buttsman here. I hope you're doing real well, and before we get stuck into this video, I need to let you know about Buttsman Premium. It is the place to go for not only extra content every single week and a members only podcast. There's also giveaways. Next month we're giving away $2,000. There's weekly FaceTime calls. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. It is the best place to go if you can't get enough of this ugly mug 3 times a bloody week. Let me tell you. Also, you get 15% off merch. So when I drop merch like this, you get 15% off and you get it a whole week before anybody else. So if you're already joined Buttsman Premium and you're thinking about it, I just wanted to thank you very much for supporting the channel. If you can't afford it, let me tell you this. All you have to do is like the video, and that's all I'll ever ask of you. Until I want you to buy something else of mine, which will be soon. Alright, now, on with the video.
What an asshole.
Before we get into the main topic of this video, I just wanted to say how bloody good are kangaroos. Not only are they on the emblem of Australia, and they are the most known Australian animal across the globe, but you may not know this. They actually hate something that we hate quite a fucking lot. Kangaroos fucking despise cyclists. Brings a tear to your eye. What a fucking amazing animal. Go you good thing. Go son. Go mate. Okay, that was a deer, but you get the point. Fuck cyclists. Now, ladies and gentlemen, about a fortnight ago, I made a video about free speech and how freedom of speech was being attacked not only in Australia, but in America and the rest of the first world when it came to the internet. But the story was based on a video that I saw my mate Friendly Geordie's post about how free speech was being attacked in Australia. The premise of the video was all based around Friendly Geordie's being sued by a politician for making jokes. Now, when I made that video, I thought I made some good points. And you know what? Friendly Geordie's did as well. He shared it on his Facebook page, his Twitter, and all over social media. He was pretty happy with the video. But you know who wasn't happy with the video? Friendly Geordie's fans. Oh my god, I got fucking hammered in the comments. I was reading those comments, I had to pop a few extra antidepressants. It was so fucking bad. Here's a hot tip. Never read the fucking comments. I got torn to shreds. But one of the reoccurring comments was, oh, this bloke, this Butterfield, this bigot, he's a one-trick pony. The only videos he ever makes is about vegans. Vegan this, vegan that, whinge about fucking vegans. Let's be honest, if you watch this channel a lot, you know that I don't just make videos about vegans. I am not a one-trick pony. In saying that, let's whinge about vegans in this video. Vegans exempt from compulsory COVID vaccinations. Now, I don't think you should be forced to inject anything into your arm. It should be a choice, right? Having someone from the government basically holding you down, whether it's physically or they're just saying you can't go to work until you get a vaccine, that's not quite right. It doesn't seem to be the right way to do things in a free country. At least that was my thought process, until I found out that vegans everywhere were whinging about the vaccine for one particular reason that is quite hilarious, and now I think that everybody should be held down, forced to have the vaccine, and probably force-fed a steak as well. Vegans would be exempt from compulsory workplace COVID vaccinations, and employers risk legal action if they insist workers are double jabbed, experts say. Why the fuck should anything be ruled about you or anyone around you or your employees or your employers based on what you eat? Grow up. Ethical veganism was ruled to be a protected characteristic at a tribunal last year. It means that any employer would risk legal action if they ordered staff to be vaccinated. Vegans are now a protected class. Fucking lock me up and throw away the key and jam a big old dildo in my mouth because I don't want to be alive anymore. A spokesman for Lewis Skillen, shout out to Lewis Skillen, a law firm, told The Telegraph some ethical vegans may disagree with the vaccinations on the basis that they will inevitably have been tested on animals. You fucking pussies. I understand why people are a bit hesitant about vaccines, particularly, you know, if you hear about side effects or people dying from the vaccine or they've been rushed into mass production or maybe we don't have any examples of longitudinal studies of what happens from... But okay, I get all of that. But not having the vaccine because it was tested on animals is fucking ridiculous. I don't think that animal testing is good. No. But I tell you what's worse than testing a vaccine on a fucking lab rat? Testing it on people. So either you test it on fucking animals, or you just potentially kill people.
¿Por qué no los dos?
The protection means that vegans and people in other categories, including some religious groups, as well as those with certain disabilities or medical conditions, could mount a claim of constructive dismissal if they're forced to get the jab. They just said that veganism is on par with a disability. You do not need to be protected. You're just not eating one food. Fuck you to the moon! Does that mean that anti-vaxxers should also be protected because it's a belief? If I only eat steak and there's no steak available at the little restaurant down the road from where I work, is that discrimination? If I take my children to a restaurant and they serve my 7-year-old child vegetables and they hate vegetables, is that a hate crime? The answer is yes. So what does the vegan leader, the vegan Jesus, the Bible of veganism have to say? Are vaccines tested on animals? Companies that make vaccines and other medicines are required by law to carry out certain tests, some of which involve using animals before they can market their products. The goal of being vegan and advocating for animal rights should always be to bring positive change for animals, as long as the tests on animals are a legal requirement. Refusing to take a medicine on ethical grounds will not help animals who have already been used in tests or spare any the same fate in the future. Hang the fuck on, you itty bitty soy titty having latte sipping veggie munchin'. The goal of veganism is to have change on animals and etc, unless it says it in the law and these animals were going to die anyway, then let's just kill them. No. Motherfucker, stand by your fucking guns. Don't just give up, you fucking pussies.
If you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
You talk a big game, but when push comes to Brussels sprouts, you drop dick. You weak pieces of shit. Peter goes on, because of course they do. Is there a link between COVID-19 and eating meat? Yes. We can't ignore the link between eating animals and outbreaks of diseases like COVID-19. Considering all the other COVID-related illness outbreaks over the last couple of decades have come from bats, and they did a study in the Wuhan area from the wet markets that they alleged that the COVID virus came from, and there was no bats being sold at that time, which doesn't mean they weren't being sold under the table, but maybe they weren't. Maybe it didn't come from bats. The coronavirus could have also come from that lab in Wuhan that when Trump talked about that, it was laughed down and said it was ridiculous, and now people are starting to say, maybe that did happen. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens over the next couple of years. Humans' insatiable demand for meat, eggs, and dairy means that huge numbers of animals are reared into intensive confinement inside giant, filthy sheds, crammed into crowded lorries and slaughtered on killing floors soaked with blood, urine, and other bodily fluids. These conditions are breeding grounds for new strains of dangerous bacteria and viruses. Now, I agree, that is a terrible environment. No animal should be subjugated to that. But that's the only point you're making. If there was an environment where they weren't subjugated to that, then it's fine. Is that what you're saying? Now, I'm sure a vegan YouTuber will make a video about this video somewhere, and they'll pause right there and they'll go, no, this isn't this. And listen, my comeback to you is, hey, I fucking hate you, all right? I don't care what you say. To wrap this video up, do I think all vegans should have the vaccine? No, I don't think they should have any vaccines. None at all. And if a virus spreads across the world and they happen to be wiped out, oops. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, my dick stinks. Keep it moist. Toodle au revoir. Bye-bye.